We all know that satisfying our physical needs is our own responsibility. Every person eats, drinks, and breathes for themselves. When you become hungry, through your action of eating, you give your body strength. Concerning physical matters, we are aware that no one is able to eat in our place. Someone's consumption of water will never satisfy my thirst. Although it is a very basic thing and frequently thought about, comprehending the fact that only through my own action I can satisfy my need for physical food is very important. From a spiritual perspective, everything works exactly the same. But when it comes to supplying the spirit, even though the mechanism is identical to the physical one, man's spirit sees things reversed. We believe that others can satisfy our need for love. Consequently, believing in a lie, the spirit is always starving and thirsty. Deceiving himself, man believes in the impossible. In every relationship, whether it is marital, friendship, parent-child, and even the bond between man and animal, man expects love from the other. Meaning, practically, we expect others to eat in our place. Believing that we are offering something to others, we hope to receive gratitude, politeness, kindness, and love, making others debtors. We then become dependent on those around us when we live from what they do and from their existence. All the actions of those close to us can be summed up in one of two ways. He loves me, or he loves me not. Those around us have a debt toward us and have to show us respect, praise, and priority. No one is permitted to make mistakes or fail, and we wish to control everything. This whole exhausting harassment of man in search of love is the result of a false identity, which is but a deception. Man is a created being, therefore dependent. But now, the created being has expectations from others. Furthermore, in the Christian's mentality, he believes that God has to satisfy his need for love. Man now has expectations of his own creator and waits for God to act in his place. But man's spirit was created as an enclosed system, which manages itself from the interior and cannot be passive. Yes, God is the only source of love. In him we can find living water. He makes available everything that we need. But man has to take those resources from him and use them. God has not created robots for him to control from the exterior. Yet man, having expectations even from God, considers himself someone he is not. Man believes he is God and even above God. This self-deception is what brings about all of man's problems and can lead to some of the worst of evils. In the man who believes he is God, pride and selfishness thrive. Pride, for he believes that the love he gives comes from within himself, and selfishness, as he says that all that he has, he owns. For us to better understand this self-deception, we will have to know more in-depth information about man's spirit, including the fact that the spirit has two rooms, consciousness and subconsciousness. At a conscious level, we can find rationality, conscience, and also will, in which the spirit's needs are found. But in the subconsciousness are the criteria which stand at the base of all things. There only exist two criteria, which are gain and loss. Ahead of these two criteria is the motivation, which is determined by the identity, the most profound part of man's spirit and the cause of every thought. Therefore, when man, being in self-deception, believes he is God, his motivation is going to be pride and selfishness. Considering the criteria for making decisions, he will consider it a gain when he receives appreciation, smiles, gifts, and preeminence. His subconscious will perceive it as a great loss, though, when others cease to give him the desired love and respect, when something is confiscated from him, or when he does not receive as much as he expects. Whom does the spirit that is self-deceived look up to? It will evidently look to others' actions only, because it lives on what others do and is permanently dependent on them. If others give me what I need, I will be happy. If not, life loses its purpose. However, with the correct identity, that of a created being, man has love as the motivation and considers it gain when he gives, not when he receives. Therefore, when it is in truth and not in self-deception, the created being also considers it loss when it does not give or when it keeps for itself. Thus, the correct identity looks at its own actions, never at the actions of those around it. The ministry God foresaw for man was for him to function as a channel, taking the love that he needs in order to spread it to those around him, therefore fulfilling the role he has in the universe's circuit. Through his own action of taking and giving, all of the Spirit's needs are fulfilled. For as the act of eating is in the hand of the one who needs the nourishment, so the actions of those around him cannot satisfy in any way the hunger of the Spirit. In this way, God created man so that when he loves with the love he has taken from his Creator, his need for love can be fulfilled. The exact same format goes for the fulfilling of other needs. By the action of giving liberty to those around him, the Spirit's need for liberty is fulfilled. When the created being, nourished by the God of love and altruism, is kind and merciful to his neighbor, the Spirit will be satisfied. This law of love was ordained by God for all created beings. But how did self-deception, by which that law came to be so unnatural and incomprehensible to the human spirit, arise? We are all born with the wrong idea about ourselves. We think we are someone we are not, and our eyes are directed to what others are doing, and we live by the words and deeds of those around us. Is there a solution to get out of this scam? Does man have any chance of escape from the prison of his spirit? What must be changed so that man can be resettled in the great circuit established by the Creator? God made a way of escape possible for man. Yet this does not consist of improving the state into which man is born, because that is irretrievable. But we will see that there is still a miraculous and unique solution by which we can be saved.